Yes, you can't believe we are doing this event, Run for Stanton or whatever the call is. We are doing that in form of a ship review of the Asgard from Anvil. We are traders, not haulers, and we do cargo for a living basically. And we see a lot of stuff here during this event, the worst and the best of other citizens in here. Max in, max out. That is our saying when we do hauling, or let's say rather trading in the verse. Yeah, box moving is the business we are in. Box moving is how we make money in the verse. We are at the moon of Arcop. We choose Arcop as our primary contract location because it is a small orbit. That means everything is kinda in small proximity, and we found the most working elevators on Arcop's orbit. Whenever we arrive at the location, there are several ships, and we always gonna check out if a player is somewhere around, just to make sure that we do not interrupt anybody else doing the run for Stanton. And we see the raft is empty, no boxes attached to it. VTOL is not active. We assume it's a rented ship. And over there you see Starlifter, they are moving boxes. So there's a second elevator that works here, definitely. And we place our ship in front of the elevator in order to start loading the ship. And we do hear something, and we want to find out how players and viewers alike react to our behavior here. You can comment what you observe, what you liked, what you triggered, and what you didn't like, of course, because we are doing pad ramming. Yeah, we're doing pad ramming because we wanna make sure that we can load the boxes properly and in a more or less efficient way. But these players who abandon the ship so in front of the elevator, they are some sort of a new kind of griefers. They come here, check out the elevator, eventually it doesn't work, and they are pissed off, and they are simply just log off and abandon the ship in front of the elevator. That logging off and abandoning the ship behind it is some sort of grieving, because they suffering in doing this event, not be able to progress in that way they probably imagined. And so for us, it is also suffering because we need to move away other players' ships because of their ignorance. We haven't checked out here, but we always had an eye on our crime stat just to make sure that we don't get crime stat for that. And even if we get some, it would be really interesting to find out why. In this particular case here, we didn't get crime stat for moving that ship away, pad ramming as some people will call it. We checked and scanned the ship before. Of course, it was game rules. If a ship is abandoned, the game rules, you can do whatever you want with this ship. Curious of if other players saw us, would they text in global chat of reporting a pad rammer? And that's why we have global chat on, and we make space clear in between of our ship and the elevator. And there's a caterpillar coming. That gives us already a stress level, because we do not want to block the elevator so that other people cannot have their gameplay here. But on the other hand, we want to progress as well, and especially we want to do this video in order to find out how many ASUS we actually can load into the Asgard. We place the ship properly and we open up the ramp as usual, just not to bug out the ship. Looks good. Look at this atmospheric light and haze, amazing. And we start loading the ship. Responsiveness of interaction in the verse. It amazes us. You use this terminal and you see loading contents. You can wait, and we waited 15 seconds until we see the boxes of this contract. You can wait 15 seconds, but eventually after 15 seconds it is still loading contents. You can exit the terminal and re-log into the terminal in order to see the contents. This is bug citizen, elevator overloaded. We found the elevator lowered. There is one cause, one error. To eliminate this error, you simply raise the elevator. We lower the elevator in order to check in back again in the terminal, and then we will be ready to move the boxes from the contract onto the elevator and raise the elevator so that we can start loading. And of course, there are many players and therefore many causes and many errors, and this is just one particular way to work around this overload error. To contract. To draw into a smaller compass. Become smaller, shrink, intransitive. Make an agreement, enter into a contract, agree or establish to undertake mutually. Past participle of contrahere, to draw several objects together, draw in, shorten, lessen, abridge, a bridge. Metaphorically, make a bargain, make an agreement, from assimilated form of come, with, together, see con, plus trahere, to draw, see tract. Related, contracted, contracting. Meaning to acquire as by habit or contagion, become infected with. Transitive sense of make narrow, draw together the parts of something to cause it to shrink. Grammatical sense of to shorten a word or syllable by combining or eliding concurrent elements. Transitive sense of arrange for by contract. The contract, agreement between two or more persons to do or not to do some particular thing, originally especially of marriage. Oh, there is a player using the Atlas loading our ship. We would like to contract not to do loading the ship with the Atlas, but you can see it is quite fast, picking up, traverse and put it down. That goes pretty fast, but it will destruct our loading plan. And as you can see, there's a big tower in front of our cargo bay, so we start moving the boxes to the middle section. Yeah. So we haven't checked the other elevator, but there is definitely a second elevator that works. So now he actually listened as well, or read as well. We said don't put it into the ship. If you want, you can place it onto the ramp. And he places onto the ramp. Friendly, kind of helpful, but absolutely respectful. This is the second player interferes in our loading that is absolutely respecting and shows the best of the citizens we can meet here in the verse. Contractus, a drawing together, a shrinking, a contract, an agreement. Past participle of contrahere, to draw several objects together, draw in, shorten, lessen, abridge, a bridge. Metaphorically, make a bargain, make an agreement, from assimilated form of come, with, together, see con, plus trahere, to draw, see tract. In reference to the writing which contains the agreement and its terms and conditions. US underworld sense of agreement to kill someone, first recorded 1940. Contracted, agreed upon, shrunken, shortened. Past participle adjective from contract. Limited in extent, narrow, restricted. Contractedness. Earlier as an adjective was simply contract. Form Latin contractus. The tract. Extent, continued, passage or duration. In phrase, tract of time, period or lapse of time, now obsolete. Latin tractus, course, progress, movement, a train or course, a space drawn out, duration, etymologically, a drawing out or pulling, etymologically, a drawing out or pulling, from trahere, to pull, draw. This is said to be from Proto-Indo-European root trach, to draw, drag, move. Source also of Slovenian drag, trace, track. Compare trait and trace. The meaning: territory, region of indefinite extent, stretch of land or water. In English is recorded 1550. Tractus also had a sense of territory, district, region of land. Specific US sense of plot of land for development. Finish loading. Yeah, when we have a look around here, we could fit actually more boxes here. Definitely 8 ASUS or even more. We're heading back to Baigini. Con. Word forming element meaning together with. Sometimes merely intensive. It is the form of calm, using in Latin before consonants except B, P, L, M or R. In native English, formations such as costar, co, tends to be used where Latin would use con, like concentrate, concentration, conduct, conceal. Okay, always ramp down before we start offloading. We checked the status. How many ASUS do we have? And we got 468 ASUS already delivered for RCorp. We start unloading the ship, and as you can see, it is pretty much filled up. And we will count the boxes afterwards, because right now Baigini inventory is empty. That means every single box that we will deliver here will be part of this delivery. Yeah, do not stack boxes because they infantized the elevators. Count the boxes, check-in works. There's also a contract will be finished with that confirmation. And continue offloading the ship. Second elevator completely floored out, first level. We lower the elevator as well and have a quick check. Did it count the boxes? Yes, it did. And we continue lowering. Always make sure that the boxes actually checks in and actually will be counted to your attribution. And we got partially contracts over here, the green ones. And of course, we confirm. Yeah, we are tired of hand tractor beaming all the boxes. As you can see, we placed the Atlas already, and now we place the ship 90 degrees to the elevator and continue offloading with the Atlas. As you may heard from other content creators, if you tap the free look key, you can make sure that you remain within the free look while utilizing the Atlas. That means you can look around from left to right and the Atlas remains stationary, no movement of the Atlas. That can speed up things, of course, because you do not need to place the Atlas properly so that you can see where you actually place the boxes. So what we do, we try to place the Atlas in a triangle from the ship source to the elevator destination. Here, because we place the ship 90 degrees to the elevator, means that we can put the Atlas as well in that angle of 90 degrees, and the rotation of our free look is As you can see here, less than 90 degrees. That speeds up a little bit, but we have the problem here that the Asgard is a little bit dark inside the cargo bay, so that we do not properly see what kind of box that we actually pick up. And so the very last boxes we will hand tractor beam. Last load. Oh look, there are some boxes down below. Yeah, but we got boxes on the elevator. That looks pretty good, and we will lower that elevator and also confirm. And as you can see, more contracts partially will be delivered with that. And we have a check. There is one box left behind. Yeah, we could fit a 4 SCU box through that door. Will it fit on the elevator, or do we need to lower and raise the elevator for that one particular box? It fits perfectly. Alright, last load. It took a while, to be honest. It took a while to offload the ship. It is tedious work, especially when it's contracted, because we do not do these contracts for the money. But yeah, we do it for the free paint. We are hunters for free stuff, and so we gather boxes because we didn't evolve. We are still hunter-gatherer. And now we are tired. Delivered that, we have the status, and we know that we delivered 291 SCUs this time. That means the Asgard will fit 291 SCUs from the 180 SCUs gridded cargo capacity. That is pretty awesome. And we are done for today, and we will go to sleep.